Yes. The internet and its various content creators. We love watching our favorite creators here on YouTube or whatever other platform you may consume any type of media on. We even enjoy some of these creators so much that we will throw money at them, whether it be through direct donations, YouTube memberships, or even Twitch subscriptions. But the real question is, why? Why do we give our money to creators that we have never met physically and only know them through a screen that we see them on? We're all in this parasocial relationship with each other, and it's both a great thing as well as a terrible thing. So in this episode of Watersurf Side Tangent, we're going to look at my view on the parasocial relationship we all have. Starting off with the obvious, what is a parasocial relationship? Basically, it's a one-sided relationship we have with people we don't know personally, more or less. Now, this is completely normal as it existed since the dawn of human civilization. There are people we know about, both living and dead, that we'll probably never meet in our lifetimes, such as presidents, Hollywood celebrities, and that one lady you secretly had a crush on in your college algebra class, but never had the guts to actually go and talk to her. We all put these ideas in our heads about how these people are, yet we never actually know them, but only the version of them that we see through our screens. We all have some sort of parasocial relationship, even if it's just mutual. For example, you watching this video right now is some sort of parasocial relationship. And you may even be subscribed to this channel, but I don't know who you are, and you don't know who I am aside from the person you're seeing on the screen right now. You just watch my silly little videos, maybe leave a comment or a like, and then you go on about your day doing whatever you may be doing. That's all fine and dandy, and that's what I would consider a healthy parasocial relationship. Where it starts to get a little awkward for the creator is when you start trying to pry into their personal life by asking hyper-specific questions that are on a need-to-know basis, and some of you don't really need to know those, i.e. asking about a creator's family or where they live in the world, like, what's your address, bro? I want to know where you live. Yeah, that's not something y'all need to know, okay? Now you may think, yeah, I love watching blank content creator, or I love reading blank book from this blank author, but I never want to know what shoe size they are or how their feet look. Yeah, I think most of us are on that boat. Where it gets a little weird, it's when we start to imagine how this person is based off the little information we know about them. We perceive people based off what we see. So you may think this content creator is one of the nicest people on the internet, and boom! They actually are really nice, but they just don't like doing fan meetups because they're hella introverted. We fill in what we see, and the more content we consume from said creative, the more likely we'll be just seeing them as someone who they aren't, especially if they are just playing a character. An example that comes to mind is a creator I follow on YouTube, AlphaRed. I don't know where I remember hearing this from, whether it was on his How Did We Get Here podcast or in one of his many videos. But he was saying that he plays a character in his videos where he comes off more as like, you know, a dick or arrogant, like a little bit mean. Now, is he like that in real life? Probably not, but I don't know. I've never met the guy. He plays a character to subvert expectations just as celebrities are acting in a movie. You don't know the real person behind the screen, and if they're just doing a bit. They may be an evil bald man in the movies, but maybe they aren't really bald in real life. Maybe they just shaved their head for the film. You ever think of that? All jokes aside, it's time to use myself as an example again. I know, right? Throughout my 17 plus years creating on this platform, I've always made films or sketches and other various series that aren't really personality driven. It wasn't until 2023 when I decided to start doing this video essay series, Watersurf Side Tangent. We started to see a different side of me instead of one of the various creators I play on the channel. Some of you may have even got to learn a little bit about me through my cast member podcasts I did throughout 2024. Now, some of you may think, oh, I know everything about this guy based off the way he reads that script, or how he said that his last job was a big stinky, but not really. Yeah, you may think that, but that's just the parts of my personal life that I don't mind sharing with you, or don't mind you seeing. I'll just rip the band-aid off here and let you know that I do emphasize certain lines of dialogue in these scripts and do a little bit of acting to give them deeper meaning to things that I want my viewers to connect with. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not being 100% myself, but I also know that the real me is just sort of a monotone guy who is hella introverted. Like, I didn't even talk about my YouTube channel at my last few jobs because, again, some of those things I don't like sharing even with the people that I worked with on a daily basis. I show you what I want to show you, and that's how I would assume most creators are like on the internet. To use my mom's words for a moment, what she told me as I finally got internet access in 2007 was to not believe everything I see online. I'm skeptical on some of the crazy things I see online, like that's not true, maybe that is true, I don't know. I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. But I'm also old enough to know to make my own conclusions based off the observations I made. I can assume that most of you watching this can understand that too. I hope you know the difference between me playing a character in my hero series. Haha, I am here, the hero. Bro, what the? That's me. You're interrupting my video essay. I'm interrupting your video essay. I'm so sorry about that, my fellow citizen. I'll get out of your hair. Can you believe this guy? Be sure to watch the hero series here on the Watersurf YouTube channel. Get the frick out of here, bro. Okay, I'm going, just thank you. Chill out, man. Hero away! Anyway, I hope you know the difference between that guy who I was playing a character as and the video you're seeing me in right now. This video series is probably the closest to the real me that you get to see, but again, I am still somewhat playing a character. This is where the waters start to get a little muddy though, and where I will shift some of the blame to creators on this one. Don't get me wrong, I know stalkers have existed and forever will exist, but I also know that some creators give out way too much personal information. This is where I will just call these creators what they really are. Influencers. This isn't a bad term, but some of these creators will influence you to, buy something or go somewhere, or even influence you about how their personal life is sort of how it's boo-hoo sad. Is it really boo-hoo sad? Or are you just playing a character to grift off your own viewers who can't, jump to their own conclusions based off the observations they've seen in your videos? Again, I'm not trying to say all influencers are bad, but I'm not even saying all creators are good. I know what I don't mind saying online about my personal life, but I'm not going to go out there and whine on the Brain Rot Clock app about how life sucks. We all know life sucks. We're all just trying to make the best of it during our tenure on this big blue space rock. I'm not going to go on the Brain Rot Clock app and show you the intricacies of my job because I'd probably get fired if I showed you the backstage parts of Disneyland when I did work there. I'm not going to go out and show my kids the world in every single video because I know that there are creeps out there who will start asking personal questions about my family that they do not need to know. And this has actually happened. Don't ask creators about their children or I'll kill you. You'll be dead. That's also sarcasm, but that's where I need to cover some of the negative sides of parasocial relationships. The ones who have created this fantasy in their head about how Blink creator is actually their best friend. Yes, we as online creatives or influencers are getting a bit more personable with you than celebrities are, but that doesn't excuse the fact that we're all still people too. Every human on this planet is a person. We're all the same species, and having a million followers doesn't make you any better than the guy who has only 3 followers. Some people seem to forget that, and that's what makes the parasocial relationship we all have get a little sour. You've seen the horror stories of fans getting a little too comfortable with their favorite creators at conventions. The most recent one that comes to mind is that lady who got full-on hugged or something at TwitchCon. This is just one of the many examples of negative parasocial relationships. Yeah, you may have seen every single one of their streams, but that doesn't give you the permission to go out there and be weird. This is what gives the parasocial relationship a bad name. People think, oh, Fanboy McGee over here loves Senpai, but Senpai doesn't even know who Fanboy McGee is. Why don't you know who Fanboy McGee is, Senpai? Now, I'm not trying to glaze over the subject and say that it's all bad, because I can't tell you firsthand how terrifying it is when a fan gets a little too comfortable. I'm lucky enough at my size where I don't have anyone showing up my house to call me Kawaii Desu, but I also know that it can go way differently depending on the type of person you are. Look, I can only assume that women probably have more weirdo fans out there than men do, but that doesn't excuse the fact that you shouldn't be creeping over any person. Doesn't matter who they are. Stop being a creep. And yes, I also know that some of us might get a little bit more attached to certain creators than others because of how much we enjoy their content. But we all have to take a step back and really think about it. Trust me, I know I've done my fair share of defending creators that I don't even know on Reddit, but to the extent of their content and why I think certain episodes take longer to make based off creating my own content. Is it weird defending them still? Yeah, but that's the parasocial relationship we all have, I guess. Or maybe I am truly the weirdo in this situation. I guess it boils down to that one thing. We all have a parasocial relationship with the media we watch. We all have our favorite character in an anime. We all have those celebrities or directors in those movies we enjoy seeing on the silver screen. We all have those content creators that we won't miss a single stream or video. This is all normal as we see ourselves relating with the protagonist in blank video game or in whatever book. It's part of the human experience, and it would be insane to say that you can't enjoy entertainment. This also just drives discussion of entertainment, amongst each other, and lets us have these communities where we can discuss our favorite things online or in person. I'm also a part of various different subreddits that discuss certain creators or video games and even some TV shows. I like seeing what people thought of the most recent Scott the Woz episode, or why people think that Dolly Dimpley and Autistic Gamer 774 are secretly people who work on Smiling Friends. It's cool to see what people are discussing, but I know all of this could get weird. There are those arguing about who would make the best waifu in the Persona series, or those who are talking about something that's way too serious for a throwaway gag in that one YouTuber series you watch. Guys, it was just a throwaway gag. You don't have to overanalyze everything that creator does, okay? Now, yes, some of these are harmless when it comes down to it, but I know some people could go a little too far. The only thing I can say to you, the viewer, is to know when it's time to step back. Yeah, it's completely okay to talk about my Gaming Hour series, but I think it gets a little weird when you say that, oh, I like the part where he showed his pixelated feet in the Pump It Up Exceed episode. I didn't see any comments that were like that, but there was a reason my feet were pixelated to begin with, because I know how some weirdos can get. You don't need to see my feet, weirdos. That's also another whole side tangent thing, but I'm not going to get into why we have to pixelate our feet in this video. Now, what points am I trying to make at the end of the day? Honestly, I'm sort of just rambling at this point and really going on a side tangent. Get it? It's in the series name. Anyway, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that parasocial relationships aren't always a bad thing. Just enjoying a certain creator a bit more is completely fine. There are creators I follow on the platform that I enjoy whenever they post. There are some creators that I have been following since I created my first account back in 2008. There are some creators that I just recently found out about and are working through their back catalog. Shout out to Retrobird. He makes some cool content, bro. The point being is that I'm not going to go out of my way to show up at their house and say, bro, I love your videos. They're gonna think that's weird. It's okay to enjoy the media you consume, and it's okay to talk about it with your friends, family, or acquaintances, or that random guy on Reddit. Where it's not okay is forgetting that the creator behind the camera is just a person like you and like me. I'm a person, you're a person. We are all person. Remember that, seriously. I don't know you, and you don't know me. And that's okay. We have this mutual parasocial relationship that you watch my videos and I appreciate your viewership. Seriously, I do. This also goes for the appreciation that I have as a viewer to creators that I follow. Sometimes creators will reach out to their community and let them be part of videos and such. 2025 has been an amazing year for my channel thanks to the Jax Films community and Jax Films and his team. If you were unaware, I was featured for winning Bad Reactor Bingo on his third channel, Jax Films. Then I was later featured in the same month on the Credit the Creators newsletter. And lastly, I was on his new show Clout Tank, which is where some of you may have came from. You may have came from the Jax Films community. While I am thankful for everything from him and his team and his community that they have done for me, I'm not gonna go show up at his house or even your house and say, thank you. That's just weird. I can say thank you via comments or in his own Discord community. I feel like my thankfulness was seen without going that extra mile of being a creep. This also goes back to my own channel. I've seen a handful of you comment on my videos, and I'm starting to recognize some of the repeat commenters and viewers. One of you was even nice enough to become my first channel member. That's crazy. And even some of you have made your way into my own Discord server and chat with me about random nonsense or upcoming videos. By the way, I do have a Discord server if you wanted to join, but that's besides the point. This is where I'll be ending the discussion about that topic and the fact that not all parasocial relationships are yucky or bad. This one I have with my little community is great. I'm able to chat with viewers directly, and they get to see me as a person and not some great almighty figure. And yes, I know that I'll have the haters. Just like a fun fact, there is this video online about me and how I'm the worst Roblox guy or whatever or something, I don't know. Weird parasocial relationships with this guy, but it is what it is. All right, I think it's time to wrap up this video. The parasocial relationship is weird. I think it's okay to have, but don't get too lost in the sauce of your own fantasies. Don't drop your entire life savings into a Twitch streamer for them to say, hey bro, thanks for the donation. Don't be that one guy who comes up during a convention and sits next to the people speaking like they're talking to the audience and you shouldn't be coming up on stage to talk with them and act like we're all homies because they don't know you. It's okay to be a fan, but remember, we're just like you at the end of the day. People. That's going to be it for this weird episode of my Side Tangent series. I do find the parasocial relationship fascinating as it's how content creators and influencers, make their living, but I also know that it could go a little too far sometimes. If you take anything away from this video, just know that I appreciate you for watching this video, and I would assume that mostly all creators are appreciative as well. We are all lucky to have great viewers, such as yourself, but don't be weird about it. It's cool to hang out in my Discord server, but don't be asking what my shoe size is. That's just weird, bro.